Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the hopeful elect out there scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and to the sincere believers. This is the brother Abadia coming back at you with another one. And this one, just going into, being a good soldier, being a good soldier for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're in a fight. We're in a spiritual battle, and we have to endure. This is something that each of us have to go through. Because we're soldiers for Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and this ministry and this truth. So first precept I wanted to get is 2 Timothy 2:1. You see the heading, be strong. And that's exactly what it is. You got to be strong. Yahushua doesn't want no weak men. He wants strong men. Strong men, spiritually. This is not in a physical sense. Mentally strong, spiritually strong, and strong in his truth. So 2 Timothy 2:1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is a Mashiach, Yahushai, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to the faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi and Mashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a soldier. So, you have to endure. We gotta endure. Endure hardness as a good soldier. Just want to get, hardness and endurance.
Strong's G 2553. Kakapatheo. Kakapatheo.
To suffer, endure evils, hardship, troubles, to be afflicted. So this is what we go through. We're suffering. We're suffering daily. Because at the end of the day, we are still in captive. We are still under the rulership of Esau, Edom. But even though we're suffering, we gotta endure. We gotta endure. These hardships, these hard times, these ups and downs, these different hurdles that the Most High is ultimately, testing us with. And to prove that we're strong. You can't. You're not gonna go through certain things and then just be weak and just give up. I wish I don't want men like that. Especially with the times that are coming, the time of Jacob's trouble and the hour of temptation. We gotta endure all things. We gotta be steadfast in the truth, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, end of the day, is our rock. He's our salvation. He's our shield in the midst of all this war. This is Ephesians 6, and I got it in the GMT, starting at verse 10. You see the heading, the whole armor of the Most High. Finally, build up your strength in union with the Lord, and by means of his mighty power, put on all the armor that the Most High gives you, so that you will be able to stand up against the devil's evil tricks. That devil is Esau Edom, you know, the the one, the ones who are ruling this world, you know, this world was giving into the hand of the wicked. The wicked are ruling right now, you know. For we are not fighting against human beings, but against this wicked spiritual forces in the heavenly world, and rulers, authorities, and cosmic powers of this dark age. So put on the Most High's armor now, then when the evil day comes, you will be able to resist the enemy's attacks. And after fighting to the end, you will still hold your ground. Yeah, because we were to not be moved. Some people will go through things of this life, you know, their woman, finances, their job, um, their health, or, just coming across, these bug outs in the world, and it will cause them to be moved, to not be spiritual, or to lose patience, to not trust in Yahawashi. That's why we're to put on the whole armor, because the enemy is going to attack us in many different ways, and ultimately, this is of the Most High. This is of Yahawashi. Ultimately, He is the one that is making us go through these many different battles, in order to build us up, to make us stronger, to prepare us for a time that's going to be like never before, which is the time of Jacob's trouble. To also, to prepare us for the hour of temptation, the MOTB, because the whole world is going to be tried, you know. But a lot of people are gonna fall into this. They're not going to be. They're not gonna have a foundation to stand on. They're just gonna believe in whatever is getting pushed out there. So this is a spiritual battle. This is not a physical battle. This is not a carnal battle. Where you know you're stockpiling on weapons, or you're gonna physically go out there and and beat Esau's ass or these other nations. No, that's not what this is. This is a spiritual battle, you know, within our mind. At the end of the day, that we must go through, and we got to put on that armor. And the armor is Yahawashi. You know, I'm here trying to do a lesson, and my cat's trying to get in the room. This is Second Corinthians. Second Corinthians 10, and I'm gonna start at 2. Well, I am begging you now, so that when I come, I won't have to bold with those who think we act with human motives. We are human, but we don't war as humans do. So the cat wants to hear the word. I'm gonna let him in. You read that again. Second Corinthians 10 and 2. Well, I'm begging you now, so that when I come, I won't have to be bold with those who think we act from human motives. And Slack, this is in the NLT. This This is in the NLT. 2 Corinthians 10 and 2 in the NLT. Verse 3, we are human, but in we don't war as humans do. No, we're not, picking up weapons, we're not we're not charging down a battlefield, we're not, hopping in armored tanks and and actually physically putting on armor. It's a spiritual thing. Verse 4, we use the Most High's mighty weapons, not worldly weapons, to knock down the strongholds of human reasoning and to destroy false arguments. And our weapon is this word, you know, the Bible, and these precepts. That's that's our weapon, you know. That it's a spiritual thing, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is with us. He's with us because and the angels as well. You know, the angels are around us. They protect us, they keep us safe. In the spiritual, every day is a spiritual battle. Every day, you know, and the Most High and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is with us and keeping us safe. And says we not worldly weapons to knock down and strongholds of human reasonings and to destroy false arguments. But we got to come up against these false leaders, these false teachers, these false prophets pushing all types of madness. This is a battle. To them, we're out there on the highways and hedges. We were making our videos. This is all part of that battle. This is all part of being a soldier for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You can't just be a soldier by just, when a soldier's out there on the battlefield, if he's just standing there, he's gonna die. He's gonna be killed. You know, the way we fight for our power is by prophesying, by magnifying His name, Yahweh, the Father, and Yahweh Shai, the Son. Making our videos, you know, chanting down against Babylon, which is America. That's how we spiritually fight in this war. And if you're not doing these things, you know, this world will chew you up and spit you out. You'll just be a casualty of war. You'll just be caught up. Joshua 1 and 9, have not I commanded thee, be strong and of good courage, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thy power is with thee, whosoever thou goest. So he's with us. He's with us, you know, and we can't be afraid. We serve a power that controls everything, controls the good, controls the bad. Everything is under the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So we're to not worried. We need to remember, who we're serving. And the victory is already His. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is gonna win no matter what. We're on the winning side. So as a soldier, we just gotta endure in this battle and don't give up. This is Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time is now, it is high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. And put on that armor. I just want to go into that word light. Sometimes you just got to get into the words, just like our apostles, tell us to do. got a deeper
Strong's
meaning.
G 5457. Phos.
Phos,
Phos.
a light emitted by a lamp, a heavenly light such as surrounds angels when they appear on earth, a star of fire, because it's the light that sends light, a lamp or torch. You know, and that light is Yahawashi. You know, he is that light. Mm. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. I'm just going to jump down. Verse 12. Woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. So, you know, we can't be faint hearted. Hold on, Salaki. So, you know, again, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and 12. Woe be to the faint, the fearful, woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands and the sinners that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? So, you know, you can't be faint hearted, you know. You gotta be strong. You know, yes, we all go through things. This battle ain't easy. It's tough. You know, and it gets, you know, sometimes it's really hard. You know, you go through a drought, you know, hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. But you know, there's also good. You know, there's good days. You know, so you know, you can't be faint hearted. You can't lose patience. You have to continue to trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know, and being that good soldier. You know, improve. You know, we you know, we want the new bodies. You know, we want spiritual powers. You know, ultimately, we want the mercy. We want the mercy of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know, we want that grace. You know, we want our sins to be blotted out. And in order to do so, you know, we have to be, you know, outstanding soldiers for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know, we have to be. We have to prove to our power, you know, that we're worthy. You know, that we're worthy to be the first, you know, to get those new bodies. You know, and that new body is like a new it's like armor. You know, you know, armor that can, you know, that can never, you know, rust um or hurt. You know, get sick. You know, these are things that um you know, boost you up, build you up. You know, there's nothing out there that can promise the things that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai can promise. So all the more important to 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 be that good soldier for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So that's gonna do it for this video. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, and peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim out there pushing His truth throughout the four quarters of the earth. Lord willing, this was edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.